Welcome to our channel. If you're an avid fan of the merengue squad, you've come to the right place to stay updated on all the latest news from the most successful football club in history. Our channel is the go-to source for the most recent Real Madrid news, including exclusive glimpses behind the scenes at the club, player and coach updates, and key match details. Let's stay up to date together on our team's daily happenings. We understand that supporting Real Madrid goes beyond simply cheering for a football club. It's a passion that gets passed down from generation to generation, an emotion that makes us thrill with every goal, every achievement. And that's precisely why we're here, to bring you everything related to the merengue universe. So, if you're a true Madridista, don't hesitate, subscribe to our channel right now. Here, you'll become a part of the Real Madrid family, the most passionate and victorious family in global football. Hala Madrid. Let's get to the video. Vinicius Jr. will meet Atletico Madrid again this Saturday, 25 weeks after being the target of demonstrations of hatred before the Classic for the Copa del Rey. A black doll, wearing a Real Madrid shirt with the Brazilian's name, was hung from a bridge at the time. It was not the first time, in fact, that Vinicius was the target of prejudiced messages from Atletico fans, who already called him a monkey before the La Liga duel in 2022, for example. A persecution that has grown since Brazilians began to publicly demonstrate against prejudiced messages, in the perception of their staff. The report heard people close to the ex-Flamengo striker to understand how he has faced the recent attacks and if there is any different preparation to specifically face Atletico. As this weekend's duel will take place at the Santiago Bernabéu, home of the merengue, the expectation is for a different climate for Vinicius. There was no formal contact between La Liga and Vinicius staff to deal with the Classic. The perception behind the scenes is that the player will not have problems inside the stadium, but there is fear of new attacks off the field, as in the episode of the dummy hanging in Valdebebas, the region where Real's training center is located. La Liga has even moved to try to curb and identify these people in the stands, with observers sent to Real Madrid game stadiums and also with real-time monitoring on social networks to find profiles with hateful messages. Vinicius and his staff, however, await heavy punishments for all involved, as happened more recently after the Brazilian was the target of injuries in a game against Mallorca. The National Police of Spain located and identified the fan, who was a member of his team, and was fined and banned from going to stadiums for 6 months. The perception that hatred against Vinicius Jr. has grown since he started to take a more vehement position against injuries is based on monitoring his staff. Since a demonstration on the Brazilian social networks, there were 5 episodes in a few months, while, before that, the cases were much more punctual. The answer that Vinicius expects, however, is punishment, and not just expressions of support through communiques, seen as ineffective. The player does not want to be seen as a victim of injuries, but as an executioner of these people. Also, according to the report, the attacks did not motivate Vinicius to seek psychological care. He has the support of his staff, friends, and family and has focused on his career, including the recognition that there are points that can be improved in his behavior, but nothing, of course, that has to do with episodes of injuries. The protagonism conquered by the young man on the field also made him a target of certain players from smaller teams, in the evaluation of the people who work with Vinicius. As the provocations reverberate in Spanish newspapers, many have taken advantage of the 5 minutes of fame, in the words of a source heard. On the other hand, however, other athletes have also started to speak out in defense of Vinicius Jr., as was the case with Alvaro Morata, a striker who will be on the other side of the Classic with Atletico's shirt, in an interview this week. Outside Spain, Vinicius Jr. or has he been the target of similar hatred, as on recent trips to away games in the Champions League or even the Club World Cup in Morocco? What do you think about this subject? Such a heavy subject and we shouldn't talk about it anymore. We hope from the bottom of our hearts that these attacks stop and that Vinicius Jr. can keep dancing on the field. Leave your comment about it.